Hey y'all, hey. Welcome to another episode of the Sacred and Profane Podcast. I feel like it's been a while, probably because it has been a while since the last conversation that we shared. Life, that's all. Life been lifing, and I live it, so there it is. There you go. But something wants to be said, and I have an agreement to say it. I have an agreement with the divine, and the divine wants to say something. I am one of the people here in this realm who will open their mouths and say it. So here I am. Um, you know, whew, mm, the energy is really, really chill, and I love that personally. I'm here for that. I also, um, mm, hmm, yeah, we'll see what comes through. Let's get our runes out. Altar's lit. You guys know how it is. And the lights in Palo Santo as well. These are sacred conversations that lean into the profane because, two sides, same coin, right? Speaking of, perfect time to do the whole, what do they call those? Disclaimers. Yes, housekeeping. These conversations really are for people who are 18 years old or older. If that's not you, please get away. Come back when you're older. If you are 18 years old or older, hooray, congratulations, good for you. You also must be emotionally mature enough to have a conversation uh, that is, a conversation that requires you to listen, but then also actively participate by letting whatever trigger may arise actually point you in the direction of where you could do some shadow work. That's what this is for. That's what this is about. That's what this is for. That's what this is about. I'm the shadow queen. This is how we roll. This is what I do. This is your opportunity to, like get in. I think I said this on another episode. For people who are like my former clients for 20 plus years, I was out in the industry as a success coach, as a business coach, as a leadership coach, working within organizations and also independently. Like you remember coaching calls with me. That's what these podcast episodes are. It's like, it's really, come on, let's chop it up. Let's see. What do you got? What do you got? And because of the format, typically I come to these podcast sessions ready to channel for you all, for you who resonate with this podcast, what you're dealing with, like what do you most need to know at this time? Or like I said, the divine has something to say, and then it's like, all right, go say this. All right. So here we are. hmm There is something interesting happening here. There's like a convergence of, I don't know, time and space. We have Wunjo for joy, Algiz for protection, Gebo for gift, and Eiwaz for magic. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The, what's really interesting about these rooms is it, it gives me it's like the person that came up is like, you're magically gifted. This is about being magically gifted. Okay, so I don't know. Let's see. Um, let's 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 see where the string takes us today, shall we? So, where we have been in the previous episodes prior to this one that you're listening to now, is we've been in the conversation of what it looks like to be responsible for ourselves. Basically, this is me summing it up. You can go, if you look back through the episodes, you can go back to building immunity, cultivating immunity in every area of your life, like really being responsible for yourself physically, spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. And then from there, we went into how thoughts are things. A lot of times we don't want to be responsible for our thoughts. We really, most of us have barely been taught enough to be responsible for our physical body. We're seeing a renaissance of sorts when it comes to mental health. However, the vast majority of what we term adult humans tend to be emotionally immature. So, given that as a whole, as a species, we seem to be lacking consistent growth and development in our emotional, mental, and spiritual bodies, there's an opportunity for us collectively as a species to look at what will it take to be responsible for ourselves at a level that will really allow us to thrive. And what's wild for me is that this isn't a question that's at the forefront of our shared conversations yet. It's to in my world is 2025. What do you mean this isn't the conversation we're having? What do you mean we're not actively as a whole at this point in the game sitting around talking about, okay, what's the next action we can take that's going to have all of us thrive? What do you mean that's not the conversation? But that's just the world that I live in, okay? I guess everybody else living in a different world where you can talk about all kinds of other things, which I'm sure are very valid. However, is the intention behind these other things everybody thriving? And what blows my mind? For me, it's that simple. Now, I'll admit it. I'll admit it. I am an Aries. We do like to keep things simple. 1 + 2 = 3. We love that. We love that. It's just like, oh my God, that makes sense. Let's do it. Okay. Duh. We can see it. So I'm just going to go ahead and point out the elephant in the room, for me anyway. At least I can see the damn thing. Is, uh, wouldn't it be simpler if we just addressed the areas of life that are common to every human and then actively tackle the challenges facing us in those areas? Wouldn't it, imagine, I know, but hold on, stay with me. Just stay with me. Imagine, imagine, imagine a country having, hold on, wait, a national budget. You ready for it? Uh-huh. hmm Integrity. Actually operating according to its agreements. Now that's wild because here's the funny thing about that. When you say, okay, we're going to do it the way we're supposed to do it, however you say it in your language, your version of this, if you are a government that looks like actually operating the way the laws of your country are written. For most countries, the laws were written so long ago that it's actually not actually appropriate for the government to behave in the same way. But humans don't want to change that old document. Please hear me out. I love old documents. I'm a bibliophile. I'm an immortal. I love old documents, the smell. I had a moment. I don't know if you could hear it. I had a moment just thinking about it, okay? I'm not gonna, I just, listen. That's just me being vulnerable. I love old documents. I really do. And over the past 20 years, I've learned the value of technology. So, look, all I'm saying is that until we start asking the right questions, we're going to continue to deal with the fallout of answering the wrong ones. And I mean that across the board. We are blindingly aware of our shortcomings, especially in this country, when it comes to the healthcare system, when it comes to the economy, when it comes to the educational system, when it comes to the way political systems are. Everyone is aware. No, very few people are unaware. Let me be honest. Very few people around the world are unaware of the challenges that we face in my own home country. How's that? I might not know what's going on in your country, but I bet you know what's going on in mine. But think about that. So I'm telling you, like integrity, I'm telling you. But listen, it's like if every person chose to be responsible for themselves, governments would work in an alarmingly efficient way. It would require, for many countries, the rewriting of documents. However, the result would be a society that works. So, you just do the cost benefit analysis there, and then you make the right choice. When I say the right choice, I mean the choice that works. I use right as shorthand in this one. I don't really believe in right and wrong, and I use the word right as like shorthand speaking. Just make the right choice. Choose what's going to work. Don't choose what's not going to work. Don't do that anymore. So I would like to bring this conversation down to a microcosm perspective. Um, your willingness to thrive is everything. Your desire to not just live, but to live well is crucial. Without it, mediocrity prevails and evil flourishes. And there's no shorter way of saying that. There's no better way. There's no simpler way of saying that. I really want you to understand it like that. We have been brainwashed and programmed into policing ourselves and our own communities for greatness. We've allowed ourselves to become agents of the machine, systematically attacking, sabotaging, and shutting down anyone around us who would dare reach for something higher. What if we instead were to get responsible for ourselves, own our own desires, our own goals, our own achievements? Focus on living a life that we love. See, everything is made up of energy. And energy vibrates at different frequencies. This is just, 101, life 101. And if you look around, you have an idea of the frequency that modern society is vibrating at. But frequency is like that. Frequency is occurring. Frequency is pretty cool, actually. You can measure it in wave or particle form, right? Well, you can measure energy in wave or particle form. Frequency most often is like the data is recorded in wave form. But anyway, Just like evil has flourished, so can love. So can love. It, to put it simply, if you want to see the world become a better place, start by loving yourself. Start by loving yourself. The first step to you changing the world is you loving yourself. The first step to you making the difference that you were born to make is you acknowledging the extraordinary being that you are. You honoring yourself, honoring your values, honoring your word, honoring yourself as your word, honoring your desires, your own, cultivating sovereignty, cultivating immunity in every area of your life, claiming your throne, claiming yourself as the authority in your world. Your world works how you say it works. And if you say you believe this, then that's what you believe. And if you say you do that, then that's what you do. And everybody else can kick rocks with flip-flops. You know what I mean? That's the ticket. That willingness to be responsible first for yourself is so critical to any type of shift that you may think you want to experience for yourself or help someone else experience. The genesis of all of it is self-love. Okay. So, right back to thoughts or things, right back to that conversation of you're creating it. When you love yourself, there's a certain way of thinking, of being, of talking, acting, dressing yourself, presenting yourself, taking care of yourself, feeding yourself, moving your body. It's very different than when you don't love yourself. Okay. So you're literally, when you love yourself, you're literally with every action you take, creating a vortex of love in your field. Your aura becomes filled with this frequency of love. You emanate love. You just give it off. Okay. And so like attracts like. It's not going to be long before you're attracting that same frequency to you. That's how it works. That's how it works. Frequency doesn't lie. It doesn't lie. What does it say? Your vibe attracts your tribe. It's really true. It's really, really true. It's true. And listen, because it's frequency and it does shift, okay, then you gotta, well, you don't gotta, but it works. I think it works. If you are willing to be flexible and flow when it comes to your tribe also shifting and modulating with the frequency. Okay. Yeah. I think I'm hearing a conversation. Oh my God, so long ago. I've had this conversation with a lot of clients in the past. People will start doing better. They'll start seeing results. Life will start getting good. And I'm like, oh, but I feel so bad because, so and so and so and so and so, whatever, the connection, the situation, I feel like I'm leaving them behind. Okay. And I mean, I've had that conversation so many times. It's such a trigger for people. Listen, for a lot of people, it is a hidden block to their success. That's free game. That's a freebie. For a lot of you, your hidden block was in your blind spot is you're afraid of leaving your loved ones behind. It's so pervasive. It's like, it's a very long running program in the matrix. Like I said, like we've been programmed to police ourselves and our community. That's what I'm talking about. So, to be someone who either is immune to that programming or can overcome it and say, no, screw it, I'm out. I'm going to go do something different. I'm going to do it. I know people are going to laugh. I'm going to do it anyway. Right? Like the Steve Jobs of the world, right? Um, it's like the story's the same. We know the story. Take out Steve's name and put in a different person's name. of that same caliber. They get made fun of. They don't do things traditionally. They do things backwards. They're weird. They're kooky. La 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 la. And then close your eyes, shake it up, sprinkle a little fairy dust, and poof, they're the next billionaire. It's the recipe. But here's what's wild: when you're out here in these streets, IRL, every day, and you meet that person, that's not how you're thinking about yourself, about them. It's so easy to get caught up in the matrix. It's so easy to get caught up in the appearance of something. It's so easy to keep slipping back into order. I'm constantly reminded, thank you, Loki, that chaos is sacred. It's so primordial. Chaos is so primordial. Yeah, don't leave home without it. Seriously. But please know when you're creating in the chaos. You're not creating in form. Form is the result of creating in no form. Form is what happens once chaos is expressed. Yeah, so, there's levels and layers to this. This is an interesting planetary dance going on right now. So it's mm, this energy. I love this vibe so much. I really feel that it's very malleable. I understand the message. It's, be clear. Use your intention to create right now because the energy that you are in is so pristine. The way my own frequency, whoever hears this, whenever you're listening to it, this is for you. Like, this is my energy is such, you're not going to find this episode. You're not going to listen to this episode. You're not going to be attracted to listen to this episode until you're in this energy that I'm talking about. And that it'll make sense. Okay. So you don't have to be like, well, how does she, don't worry about that. Like, this is for you. This is for you. Create well. Every thought matters. As things happen and they move and they flow, let them, allow them, especially when they begin to clear space. Now, sometimes when space gets cleared, that listen, depending on your astrological chart, okay, and I mean that, okay, specifically, I think where your vertex is, that's how it shows up in my chart. My vertex, um, coupled with my vertex coupled with my Chiron is how I haven't I like that's where I spot the shakeups in my life. It's like, okay, yeah, I got it. So for me, my vertex is in Scorpio, my Chiron is in Taurus, in my 12th house. So when something monumental happens for me, it usually happens in my personal life, in my deep, intimate relationships, and in or around my home. Uh-huh. That's the chart that I have. That's the life I get to live. What's cool about astrology is knowing that I get to be responsible for as much as I can, right? Because it's also really important to me. Look, my Chiron's in Taurus in my 12th house. My home is a sanctuary. It has to be. It has to be. It has to be. And this is part of why. This is part of why it has to be a sanctuary. Because when something pops off in my life, good, bad, ugly, no matter what, because my vertex is in Scorpio, hot dang it, that shit's gonna be deep as fuck. It's gonna hurt so good. But it's transformation. Like it's just, it's like I am the phoenix because of it, right? I am the phoenix. So, pros and cons there. In other words, shorthand language, when things happen in my life, they happen in a big, dramatic way, but it's occurring on a deep level. So for the people watching, all they see is the wow, what did she say happened? Where did she say? Where is she? What happened? But for me, I'm literally being reborn from the inside out. Okay, so I'm constantly being really live like reincarnated as I live. It's been a wild ride. Um, being responsible for yourself mentally. I can't speak enough about it. I know I've already done a whole episode on it. It comes back through, so I've got to touch on it again because we are in the age of Aquarius. We're in Pisces season. Listen, God bless America. If the planets were a fun house of mirrors, this right here, this would be it. This would be it. Okay. Now, because it's air and water, good luck. No, but for real. Um, you got to have discernment. So whatever it is that keeps your head clear, whatever you can do to pay special attention to your crown right now, whatever intentionality you can bring to caring for your crown chakra, I highly recommend you do that. Whatever, the same for your third eye, the upper chakras, whatever you can do to, like, yes, ritualize your self-care routine around your heart, throat, third eye, and especially your crown chakra, whether it's scalp massage, oiling your scalp, I don't give a what it is. Do it. Do that shit. Do it. 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 Crystals. You guys know I love color therapy, chakra alignment, whatever it is, right? But just if you don't already incorporate it into your self care routine, please, please. That crown and third eye. I'm telling you, there's so much. Yeah, they're saying doppelganger copycat. There's just a lot of glamour. There's just a lot of glamour going on. And here's what's wild. Like um, like did a little curtsy. Hello, I'm an enchantress. Glamour is my thing. That's my thing. That's my jam. Um, I look. It wasn't too long ago. I would never have admitted that to you guys. I would never have openly talked about um, that part of my giftings at all is something that I've been personal about like my whole life. And, I'm at the point where like, no, look, I enchant shit. I'm an enchantress, glamour, that's my jam. Um, so from me to you, let me tell you something. Um, the other side of glamour for me is I can see through glamour, right? Because I can glamour, I can, well, no, I don't know if everybody else, I don't know somebody else who can, I don't know. I only know myself. Okay. So for myself, I can glamour, I can see through people's glamour. Okay. And mm, depending on my personal integrity. Okay. Let me feel like this. The level of integrity I'm operating at determines how quickly I see through the glamour. How's that? Boom. Okay, so do with that what you will. So, oof, that's deep. Let me see. Do we have? Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. So, super quick about integrity. And then if you want more, I'm gonna give you a teaser. If you want more integrity talk, I highly recommend you consider coming on over to Patreon. You know how it works. But that's where I have courses, workshops, like all the stuff for people who want to go in. All the stuff is in Patreon if you want to go in, okay? And it's like 20 plus years of content. There's archives, all the goodies. Not all the courses will make it back. I am going to offer, I think, 2 courses this year. The rest will be archived, but then I'll bring those back out next year just to keep it fresh. So if you've done work with me before and you want to work with me again, come on down. I'm going to bring out some short courses and some longer courses. So you'll find something that fits your schedule, but absolutely you'll find something that fits the next level of ascension that you're working on. I'm sure. I'm sure. Um, yes, but oh my gosh, I forgot. What was I? Integrity. Yes, thank you. So it is oh my gosh, integrity. It's like a whole world. I love integrity. I was actually born on the day of integrity, and I said everything that I just said because when I start this conversation, 9 times out of 10, people are like, can we talk more about that? So, like, this is just me, like, over 20 years of like, no, like, you're gonna want more. This is where you get more. I'm only gonna give you a little bit right now. Okay. Okay. So integrity is not a universal law, but it is so closely founded on universal law that it is quite immovable. Okay. It is like gravity. It's not gravity, but it's like gravity, right? And that if you throw a ball in the air, it's especially here in this realm, anyway, okay, we'll keep it this realm, okay? Got to say that in this place. You throw a ball in the air, it's falling, okay? Integrity is like that because integrity is speaking to the state of workability of a person, place, or thing, okay? Most people don't know what integrity is. That's the first challenge. That's the first myth we have to break through when we start looking at, okay, well, how do I get my integrity to a place where my discernment stay on point and I don't get tricked by none of this bullshit out here? That's what we're talking about, right? All right. So you get that, like, okay, well, first of all, you don't even know what integrity is. People say, oh, integrity is what you do when no one's watching. No, 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 that's character. And I hope you have it. Hope you have some. I hope you have character that is reliable, if nothing else, okay? That's up to you. Integrity is the state of workability. So something either works or it doesn't. My favorite analogy is the remote control. I'm looking at 2 right now in my living room. So there's a remote over there. I'm going to use the Fire Stick because, look, most of us have a Fire Stick remote at this point. Let's tell the truth. You have a Fire Stick or a Roku, one of the two. And let's say that remote just stops working. What do you do? What do you do? Do you, swear at it? Do you check it against the wall? Do you bang it on your knee? Do you, slap it against your hand and shake it up and down? Do you call it names? What do you do? The remote just stopped working. What do you do? You throw it away. Go get a new remote. Like, fuck this remote, man. I'm gonna get on Amazon. I have a new remote tomorrow. Because you can do that now. Thanks to Prime, you can do that. You know, I wish I were kidding. I don't know. I've lost track of how many times I've thrown this analogy out there. 20 years of coaching leaders around the world. How long it takes for someone to go, and how many people change the batteries? That is literally the last thing that people think about when the remote stops working. It's hilarious. I've been this person. The remote goes out. I'm one of those shakers. I shake it. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I don't know. Why do I shake it? I don't know. I don't know. I know it's weird, but I shake it. But I've also got a 6-year-old and an 8-year-old. So you know what they do? They take it right out of my hand and they just change the battery. It's like, what happened? Anyway, so integrity is like that. It's always going out. It's like you get a car, you buy a brand new car, the moment you drive it off the lot, it starts depreciating. That's integrity. You get brand new batteries, you put them in your remote, you click that power button, used up some of that battery. It's no longer at 100%. Integrity is like that. Okay. So it doesn't matter how hard you, and I'm going to be fucking real with you. And this is I'm coming to you as someone who is an actual authority in this. Okay. All right. Uh, First thing when it told, I wish I had heard. Anyway, it doesn't matter how hard you try for 100% integrity. It's not going to happen. Let's say that you are a demigod. You will reach integrity at 100% for a millisecond. And then in the next millisecond, it will begin to deteriorate. That is the nature of integrity. That is what it must be. It cannot be anything else. If it were something else, it wouldn't be integrity. That is the definition of what integrity is, the workability of something. Something either works or it doesn't. The degree, the extent to which it works. By design, by implementation. Does it work? Does it not work? This is what matters, the integrity of something. So when we talk about how do you actually be responsible for yourself, how do you be a person who manages yourself with integrity such that your discernment is keen enough to see through all the illusions and glamour magic that everybody and their grandma's throwing up right now. Because that's what's happening. That's what's happening. Let me, that's what has been happening, and it's just being ramped up right now. The illusion has been out there. It has started to falter over the past few years, but with this energy right here, people who've been on some, and listen, and people who've been delusional, this is where it gets deep for them. Okay. So you got to manage yourself accordingly. You got to know what's real. You got to know what's real. You got to know. You can't think it. This is another conversation from Coach. You can't think it. You got to know the difference. This was homework I used to give. People love this one. Take some point this week. I say as soon as possible, right? Because then you don't forget, like I have a tendency to do. But take a piece of paper and write down what you think, what you know, and what you believe. What you think, what you know, and what you believe. It's really important to know the difference between what you think, what you know, and what you believe. And some of you are feelers. I keep hearing somebody saying, but what about what I feel? What about what I feel? What I feel. Okay, you can have a category with how you feel, but humor me. For you feelers out there, okay, I'm a feeler, so I'm with you, okay? For you feelers, for each of your feelings, what you feel, see if you cannot find another category that it could also share, right? Because feelings can be nebulous like that. You can have a feeling, but is it something that you know, or is it something that you feel? Is it something you believe, or is it something you feel? Is it something that you think, or is it something you feel? I want you to check like that, okay? It's a very powerful exercise if you'll take the time to do it. I don't know how long it's going to take you because I don't know what you think, know, or believe. Okay. But I highly recommend you try that on. There's so many different ways to get responsible for yourself. There's so many different ways to bring integrity to your experience of life. That is workability. And the deeper you go in this realm of workability, the better your life becomes. Because think about it. You're looking for all the ways you can increase the workability of your life, more ways your life can work for you, not you work for somebody else, more ways your life can work for you. Look at that. More ways your life can work for you. Who doesn't want that? Who doesn't want their life to work for them? The answer is integrity. And the only reason people aren't shouting this from the rooftops yet is because they think integrity is character. It's not. But that really points to the intentionality of the words that you're speaking, knowing the words you're using, understanding where they come from. If you want to get into etymology, go for it. That's not my thing. Well, that's not true that it's not my thing. It is my thing, but I don't go as deep as some people, and I'm not going to do that here. Okay. But I do choose my words with care. I do speak with intention. I do understand I'm creating my experience, and I alone am responsible for the quality of life that I am experiencing. My quality of life is my responsibility. Some of you have already got your long-term care insurance plans bought and premiums paid up, and God forbid should anything happen, you're prepared. Okay? Are you prepared spiritually the same way? Are you prepared mentally the same way? Are you prepared emotionally the same way? I'm asking you to begin to extend your self-awareness beyond just your physicality. Allow yourself to really know yourself as a holistic being with much, 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 much deeper capacity for your life being as great as you can stand it. That's all for now. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of the Sacred and Profane Podcast. It's always so much fun sitting and talking with you. This is an interesting energy. I liked it. I'm not gonna hold you. I enjoyed it, but I enjoy spending time with you. Hey, no matter who you are, no matter where you are, trust your process, your path, and your purpose. Ashe.